Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about this Caimito tree and what's called approach grafting. So this is an ancient technique. This was probably one of the earlier techniques that was used when you were grafting trees. And you're going to notice here I have this this tube. It's about an 8 or 9 inch tube, and this is called a tree tube. So what I did is I took a plant, which is a Caimito seedling that I was growing in these tubes, and I grafted it right here to a similar caliper branch on the mother tree. Now this tree is called Hipólito. It is a white Caimito and it's absolutely amazing. This is a variety that I obtained from Julian Latta. He's a good friend of mine down in Homestead, Florida. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate that from the tree and show you the graft that was done. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to separate the grafted seedling from the mother tree. Now this branch up here, this branch is attached to the mother tree. It's a branch that matches the caliper of the seedling. So this branch, that's the mother tree branch, is called a scion. And this one that's in the pot, which is a Caimito seedling, is the rootstock. So let's go ahead and by the way, if you didn't notice earlier, this tree is in a container. It's in a 15-gallon container, and it's probably high time that I plant it in the ground or move it to a larger container like a 25. So probably that's what's going to happen. We're going to move it to a 25. But right now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down the side here very carefully and see how we look. And again, I don't want to cut myself, so always keep your hand away from the edge of the blade. Again, be real careful or you cut into the actual tree, which we don't want to cut into the tree. So let's see what happened here. We'll start removing this tape. This was started back in February, and I took it apart in March, about a month later, to see how it looked, and it wasn't really grafted that well. It still needed a heck of a lot more fusing. So I reattached it, thinking that 30 more days would be good, and now it's been 3 more months actually, because it's June. The last time I opened it to check it was March 17th. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see how beautifully joined this is here. Absolutely well joined, doing really, really well. And I have a video that showed you what happened back in March. So if you want to see, I'll put a link to that video. It's a very quick, short video. This one's going to be a little bit more in depth. And in the future, I'll do one of these and I'll demonstrate exactly how I grafted it. But let me zoom in here so you can see what this actually looks like as it's grafted now. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this and separate, and we have ourselves another Hipólito Caimito. All right, so I'm going to point out the spot exactly where this is grafted so you can see it better. Hopefully you can see it on the video. Now I'll take a photograph and then I'll post a photo in case for some reason you can't see this well in the video. So if you look here and you see that right there and there, this would be your scion, and right behind it going down into the pot is your rootstock. And the caliper is real nice, everything matches real good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut it right here. All right, so we're going to come back in here and we're going to cut off the graft, the approach graft, and you gotta make sure you cut the right one or you're in big trouble. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this piece right here so that we end up with the scion onto the rootstock. We'll cut real low and then we'll trim it up. Okay, so now we've removed that from here, and now the only other thing we need to do is remove the container and I'll come back and show you what that looks like in just a moment. All right, so now I hope you can see better. What we did here is we have the electrical tape, which is just wrapping around. I removed the cellophane wrap. The reason I put the cellophane wrap was to make sure that this little container didn't dry out, because it's a kind of a very small container with not a heck of a lot of soil. And there are days when I get busy and I don't come around and water, and this tree suffers quite a bit sometimes from not getting enough water. So that's why I wrapped this in cellophane, to at least protect my my seedling. So we're going to cut this here. Cut this completely off here. And this thing's actually rooted through the, you can see that, look at how it's rooted right there to the bottom of the pot. But now we have another Caimito Hippolito, and then this guy's going to end up, let's check the soil. The soil's still nice and moist. And this in here is regular potting soil. So that's all you've got there. It's regular potting soil. So this again, folks, is an approach graft. And like I said, we'll clean this up a little bit now by trimming off that little bit of excess on the branch. Now let's take another close-up look here. You can see that's fused really, really, really nice. And I'll take a photograph, like I said earlier, just now, so you can better see what this all looks like. And then I'll cut off the excess as close as I can to here without, you know, leaving a stump. So there we go. This is how you make another tree by grafting via approach graft. So if you are having a challenge grafting a certain tree or certain variety, some of these can be very challenging to graft by traditional grafting methods. This is, like I said, an older technique, but as you can see, it's quite effective. Now, you can also graft by using a cleft graft, but it takes a heck of a lot of experience and a lot of precision and couple little secret things that we'll share with you that in the future on another video. So let's go ahead and let's cut this off, and let me show you what this looks like after I remove it from there, and then we're going to pot it up. All right, so hopefully I can finish this video before the storm comes, because we've got thunder and lightning just off to my left, a little bit to the south. So this is, and you can see the photos, I'll put them right below. You can see a better idea of what I'm looking at over here. But now what I'll do is I'll just cut off this extra little excess piece right here. We'll come in here and we'll just cut that off as close as we can without damaging our rootstock or scion. Again, this is the rootstock and this is the scion. So it looks pretty good here. I mean, you're just going to have a little gap along the edge, but that should be fine. It has a really good solid connection, almost 1.5 to 2 inches all the way up this way. So it's really well established and strong. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this into, normally what I'll do is, and this one will be for sale, by the way, in probably another 30 days. So if you're interested, you can contact me. I'll tell you when I'm going to post this online. Normally I'll grow them in these pots. So these are 8-inch by 3, but we're going to go now, since it's been in this tube for a while, we're going to put it into I believe this is a 4x, I think that's a 4x9 or a 4x10 if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to put it in this pot, and before we do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our soil. In this case, we're going to use Pro Mix. All right, notice that we've already put what it is here. We put Star Apple, Hippolito, Approach Graft, 6-12-21. This is just to remind me when I potted it up in here. And I think I spelled Hippolito right, I'm not sure. H-I-P-O-L-I-T-O. There might be 2 P's or 2 L's, can't remember. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the potting soil in there. I'll take a little bit of this 1868, get it off to a good growth, spread some on the bottom, shake it up. Now here's the part you got to be careful with. You don't want to damage this. So the best thing to do with these types of pots is to just go ahead and cut it down the side. Don't go too deep because you don't want to damage the root system, and don't cut yourself because it can get tricky with these knives. They're very sharp and they slip sometimes, and you can inflict yourself quite a cut. All right, so that's good enough there. Then what you do is you just kind of separate it like this so you can easily get it out of there. There you have it. These types of pots are great because what happens is they direct the roots to grow downwards, and you'll notice that you have nice lines, which prevents the circling. And you can kind of tell by these nice roots down here in the bottom. All right, so now we're good. All right, so now we're perfect right there. And then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the soil in here, which already has quite a bit of the fertilizer mixed in. I like the 1868 because it gets my seedling or my grafted trees growing healthy and strong. This is a time release product. It actually works by slowly giving the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the potassium, and some necessary minerals to your plants. So that's good. And you can see how beautiful they grow. There was a little bit of that stuff in this tube as well. And then as the tree begins to mature, we go ahead and we start supplementing it with some organics, and then oftentimes we'll wean it off of all of the synthetic fertilizer, and it'll grow quite nicely with a nice organic mix, which you can get different types of fertilizers. Now it looks like it's going to rain on top of me any minute. Yeah, maybe. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and thank you for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something, and we'll do more videos soon. So remember, this will be up for sale probably in about 30 days. So if you want to check out peppysplants.com, or you want to send me a message, you can send me a message, and then I'll let you know how it's doing. And then I'm going to start making a whole bunch more of these guys, so that you guys that are interested in the Caimito Hipólito can actually get one from us here at Peppy's Plants. All right, thanks everybody. We're gonna water this guy in, put him in a little bit of a protected area just for a couple days, and then he's gonna go right back out in full sun, because he was getting full sun right there. Approach grafting, try it. You gotta try. If you don't try things, you cannot learn, okay? So again, thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave us some comments, suggestions, whatever you like. Go ahead and let us know, and we'll be back in touch with you guys. Also, we'll do some more videos real soon. Peace, everybody. Take care.